From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your evening update.
Clouds were stubborn across the Tennessee Valley for a large part of this Thursday before some late afternoon sunshine. But in terms of temperatures today, the sunshine was a little bit too late, with temperatures staying in the upper 30s to lower 40s across the area for daytime highs. We're headed for the 20s overnight and maybe the lower 20s across southern middle Tennessee. I think area-wide, it's a general range between about 22 and 28 across the area for overnight lows. Partly cloudy skies, still a northerly wind as we head through the overnight. We start out with a northeasterly to easterly wind for at least the first half of tomorrow. As we go late in the day into tomorrow night, it does become more southerly, however. Partly sunny skies, but increasing clouds, especially by the afternoon. Daytime highs tomorrow into the low to mid 50s. And then into the 40s tomorrow evening before we get back to 50 toward daybreak as a warm front comes north across the area. There is a flood watch in effect for all of our Tennessee counties and back into North Mississippi. This is from Friday night through Sunday morning for that next round of heavy rain that's coming with the strong thunderstorms late Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Now, don't think that there's no flooding threat across North Alabama just because you're not in a watch yet. National Weather Service in Huntsville have mentioned that they may be adding a flood watch in the future with updates across portions of North Alabama once they figure out exactly where the heaviest rain is going to line up. So there is a flooding threat Saturday and Saturday night over North Alabama as well, in addition to the areas currently in the flood watch. Once you get from Athens to about Russellville and the Shoals northward into Tennessee, across the viewing area, that's where we expect another 2+ inches of rain, in addition to what we've already had this week, which will exacerbate the potential for flash flooding Saturday night. Now, once you get closer here up to the I-40 corridor north of our viewing area, that's another 3 to 5+ inches. So there may be some significant flash flooding, especially just to our north, but we'll have to deal with some localized issues here for southern Tennessee, North Mississippi, into North Alabama, even down here in the green areas where it's 1.5 to 2.5 inches. Lawrence and Morgan counties, these areas have already gotten 3.5 to 5 inches of rainfall this week. So it'll only take another inch or so of rain Saturday night to cause even more flooding issues. This will be an area-wide flooding potential late Saturday and especially Saturday night as the main line of thunderstorms moves through. There is still this level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather across all of southern middle Tennessee, large part in North Alabama, back into northeast Mississippi for Saturday. This is especially late afternoon and then through the evening and overnight hours of Saturday night. But notice the level 3 enhanced risk is starting to creep up into parts of the viewing area. It's already in the Franklin County, Alabama now. Future updates may expand that enhanced level 3 out of 5 risk north across more of our viewing area, either for the damaging wind potential or for possibly an elevated tornado threat if there becomes increasing confidence in a few supercells during the late afternoon and early evening ahead of the line. That's still a big question mark. It's not necessarily an especially likely situation, but there is a signal for it, so we're going to have to watch that. If there are supercells ahead of the line late afternoon and the evening, that would have an elevated type of tornado threat. Just a big question mark on whether that's going to happen. But even if there are no supercells ahead of the line, once the main line arrives during the evening after dark, a few spin-up tornadoes will be possible, in addition to 50, 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Not everybody's going to get that kind of wind, but there will be locations in the line that will have that possibility. And because of all the rain we've had this week and it's softening the ground and it weakening the tree root systems, it's going to be easier to knock down trees and power lines this time than what it is during many other storm systems that we have. Hail, not too much of a concern, but if there are supercells ahead of the line during the afternoon, 1 or 2 storms could have up to quarter-size hail. Flash flooding is the other elevated threat we're going to have to watch very carefully, especially after dark Saturday night. So once we get past Saturday, that system kicks on out, maybe a few lingering showers in the Sunday morning, and then a turn to cooler air as we head into next week with highs down into the 30s and 40s. Now, we're chilly tonight here before we turn the winds around to the south. We're getting down into the low to mid 20s for overnight lows with partly cloudy skies tonight. into the low to mid 50s for daytime highs for our Friday. A little bit of rain moving in Friday night into early Saturday morning as the warm front lifts north across the area. And then a break during the daytime hours of Saturday where you may get even a little bit of sunshine during the late morning or the early afternoon. But once we get past 3, 4 o'clock, we'll have to watch for that question mark, that possibility of a few supercells during the late afternoon and the early evening. And then once we get past 7 or 8 o'clock into the overnight, that's when the main line comes in. With either scenario, damaging straight line winds, flash flooding, and a tornado threat will be on the table. All that's gone by about 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. Rain ending Sunday morning, clearing and colder for early next week. And then we still have that system on the board for the middle of next week around Wednesday. Way more questions than answers. It's waffling back and forth on whether it will be a rainy system or it may have a wintry mix. A lot of question marks, so don't lock onto the idea of wintry weather. Just know that we'll have to watch that as we get a little bit closer. There's a look at your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 9 o'clock for a final check of your local weather.